Hi, welcome to Off the Pitch, the podcast that brings you up-to-date football-related news and analysis. I'm your host, Will, here with my co-host, Liam, and our guest, Sean Savage. Good to see you.
Hello, you alright?
Yeah, good. So, Sean, you're a Man United fan, aren't you?
I am. Love United. We've had
Oh,
many
it's
disagreements
disgusting.
on these types of things.
How has he been
Yeah,
let in here?
yeah,
I must say, how has he been let in? Like, why?
not sure. Considering you're with two Liverpool fans right now,
Considering
yeah,
it's
not a good place to be,
football,
Sean.
football
Anything in the
news
past.
and analysis, and we've got a guy who knows nothing about football in here.
We'll
Yeah,
see.
um, cringe. um, so, what's your opinion on Man United so far this season?
Uh, well, I think we've done pretty well.
They've got a title charge going, haven't they?
Yeah, a bit, but at the start of the season, no one, including United fans, expected us to be doing as well as we were. So you got to take it like that. But yeah, I'm happy. Getting knocked out of Champions League was disappointing, but we're in a rebuild. Do you know what I mean? We can't expect too much, in my opinion. But
To be honest,
It's
I
strange,
think
though.
I think United have been very, very lucky this season. Like, you can say I'm biased. I just think United have been very lucky to get where they are.
fair
Some
enough.
interesting thoughts from Liam there.
No,
I mean,
but
I feel
I just
it's
think
strange because a lot of United fans have almost got the same perspective. They don't actually believe in their in United. Even the players, they were top of the league and they were all just doubting themselves, going, "Yeah, but it's early on, isn't it?"
yeah, because
It's like you guys don't
that
think you could do much.
they knew that they haven't got up there through the quality of their own players. They knew they got up there just from bit of luck, yeah, bit of quality, but they shouldn't really be up there.
See, yeah,
Anything to
no.
say about that, Sean?
So first, but on the luck thing, they've got lucky to a certain extent, but you sometimes you make your own luck in football. Do you know what I mean? You work hard to get your own luck sometimes, and I think yeah, the players knew they weren't. The squad's not good enough for a title charge. There's no point hiding it. When you're in that position, it's good, but as it's the proof's in the pudding, as they say, we're not good enough.
Well, I mean, whilst we're on the topic of luck, you could talk about perhaps the most unluckiest team in the league, Liverpool, with the amount of injuries we've had this season.
And we've had the most amount of VAR decisions against us out of any other team. Like,
Yeah, it seems like, in my perspective, I feel like with Liverpool, it's like if there's a VAR decision that Liverpool are involved with, it's if it's close, go with the other team. That's kind of in favor instead of in favor of the defense, in favor of the attack. It's just make it up on the spot as long as it's against Liverpool. It's ridiculous.
it's like in the Everton
Um,
game. Like, I knew it wasn't a penalty, but I see the referee going over to check it on the monitor, and I just know he's going to give it, and it's just
he just doesn't
it's
check it. He
you
just
have
didn't
no
check
there's
it,
no
did he?
like suspense. You just know he's going to give it.
It's just ruining the game, to be honest.
I've hated it from the
See,
start.
see with VAR, Matt, as well, because that's such a massive talking point anyway in football, like itself. Like
Yeah, definitely.
I think with fouls, like offsides are offsides in my opinion, even if it's like by your left toe. Do you know what I mean? Like technically that's offside, but
Yeah,
foul,
but
a lot of the
there's
time.
there's the law though, but there's the law. I think what it comes down to. I don't. It's partly VAR, but mainly it's what the managers have been saying for years now. There's a reason why in the World Cups and in the Euros there's no English referees. It's because English referees are dog shit.
Yeah, English
It,
referees do suck. I think everyone knows that, but that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying about VAR. Like about when it's like the Trent tackle against Liverpool that was given as a pen
Or against in Everton.
against Everton.
Yeah.
See,
Where the
like
guy falls over him. Yeah.
Sean, what do you
with
think
VAR,
about that?
it's like it's opinionated. Do you know what I mean? Like you go to VAR, but it's whether the ref thinks it is or not. There's no right or wrong.
No, but
decision.
with
You get-
VAR, you've got obviously multiple people looking at the same thing, and they advise the ref. So yeah, it's his decision at the end of the day, but it's not just down to him. Like, so we can't make human error. That's the thing.
Well, the thing about VAR is it's not actually making a decision for you. It's showing the evidence of the situation, which is kind of weird sometimes when offside lines are inaccurate. But other than that, they are just showing the evidence. So it's up to the referee to go and make the obvious decision, or make the difficult decision, which would be right or wrong. But a lot of the time, the referees are just shambolic. Like, did you see the one with Fulham and Sheffield United, where the
I haven't
guy
seen that.
where, well, in that I forgot which the Sheffield player it was, but he'd gone for the ball. No, Areola had gone for a 50-50 challenge. Areola being the goalkeeper for Fulham. He'd missed the ball. In fact, he was at least half a metre above the ball he'd missed by, and kicks the Sheffield United player like in the knee rather than the foot. And Areola got the free kick rather than the penalty.
Yeah.
Which is
It's
ridiculous.
risky. It's risky when the goalkeeper goes up for the ball like that. It's very, very risky.
It was a slide tackle. He went to go kick it.
Mm.
It was crazy. But still, I find Liverpool though they've not been up to scratch. You can blame VAR all you want. You can blame injuries, but injuries do have a big bit on it, don't they? Losing Van Dijk.
I think with Liverpool, it's a combination of things. Like the injuries have been massive. The game schedule is immense. Like it's ridiculous. And then also, I also think our luck has kind of run out, because I know a lot of rival fans say it, but we were quite lucky last season with how VAR decisions went our way and stuff like that.
I mean, I thought last season before that, I think we were very lucky. I think the season before that, we had a lot of
when we were in the title
decisions.
race with Man City.
Yeah, and we won the Champions League. I thought a lot of the time, remember at the start of the season, we just didn't know what our lineup was. It was like 1 minute Milner was in, 1 minute he was out. He was the best season for 6 months. He was the best season. He was the best player in the team for 6 months.
Yeah.
And it was so much. We were literally playing crap half the time and having lucky breaks and having Salah and Mane and everything on form. That kind of.
But think about the amount of like late winners
matches.
we got. The late winners we got in that season was mad. Think about, do you remember that Villa game? We were 1-0 down at the 87th minute, and we turned it round and won 2-1.
Was that last season? Yeah.
Oh, that was last season. Yeah, not the season before that. I mean, like,
even
about
then,
like, do you remember the Newcastle game? Do you remember the 3-2 Newcastle game? That was mad. Origi really was on fire that season.
Yeah, I remember Origi came up clutch a good few times.
Well, now he's useless, and I want him to go.
No, but see, my views on the whole Liverpool season is obviously, obviously there's a lot of injuries, and that plays a part. There's no denying that's played a part of how poor you've been. But at the same time, I feel a lot of Liverpool's like bad things that's went on this season been due to poor finishing. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like,
yeah, we've not been.
I mean, I've noticed that Mane has been out of form for weeks. Like, out of the front three, Salah, in my opinion, is the only player in good form.
Well, to be fair, it's hard to say though, because Mane, he works harder than all three of them combined. He's a workhorse, and he but he's just that final touch and those little mistakes he makes, and he's just not in those finishing positions Salah finds himself in. But then Salah just isn't as clinical at times. He does miss a lot, and Firmino can just go out of the game. You don't see him. Apart from that assist was beautiful in the which game was that?
The West Ham game.
No, not last game. Was it last game? No, it was the game before that.
Oh, where Salah hit it first time against Leicester.
Yes, I think it was Leicester. Yeah,
that one.
Yeah,
that was a great goal.
Oh, beautiful assist. Yeah. What injuries has United had so far this season?
Right now, at the start of the season, we weren't that bad. Being honest, like we were quite good injury-wise, but it was more. Right now, we've got Pogba out, Van der Beek, we've got Cavani out, I think. And I think that's, to be fair, I think McTominay's injured. So we've got a few midfielders injured, but our injuries haven't been that bad. I think Bailly's injured as well. So we've got like 5 injuries.
I mean, Bailly's always injured. That's the standard, isn't it?
But
yeah, literally, he's always injured.
Another thing I want to say as well is, like, with Liverpool, it's like, yes, we've had injuries, but like, it's the way we've coped with them. Like, I think we've done pretty well dealing with the injuries. I know we've had a stinker and we've lost loads of games, but like, we did bring a defender in. We brought 2 defenders in, which is great. Fabinho's done a really good job at centre back, in my opinion, as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, another thing to add though as well is I'd say, well, it happens with both United and Liverpool, is we've probably got the biggest fan bases in, well, you could say the world, but definitely English football. Man
Well,
United
Yeah.
and Liverpool are
I
the
swear,
biggest
like
fans.
Man United. Well, maybe not now, but a good few years ago, Man United were the biggest club in the world in terms of fans.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, they were the biggest club. Yeah, but Liverpool, well, they definitely are the two biggest at the moment. Liverpool have been there much longer um, than United, and in terms of internationally, we are more successful because we've won the Champions League more times than any other English club. But you got to admit, having such a fan base and not having any fans in the stadium has to have its drawbacks, surely.
Yeah, it's impacted the fans massively. Not fans, the players. You can tell, like because it pushes the players to go the extra, 10% when they're all cheering them on, and obviously each player with their own chance, stuff like that. It really pushes the team and drives them. But without that, you can just tell they're losing that kind of effort and energy.
I mean, you can see with Klopp, he feels lost without the fans. It's like you just look at him and he's trying to prove excuses, and it's quite frustrating, really.
Klopp's
And a lot of the fans are
excuses,
getting quite
Klopp's
frustrated with
excuses
them.
are just embarrassing to Liverpool fans. I think they are embarrassing. He said that Alisson had cold feet in the Man City game. Just stupid.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And also
Definitely.
with the fans, I think if you look at like the stats as well, like before when fans were there, it was like 60 to 70% like win percentage for the home team, if you get me. But now it's
Yeah,
like nearly 50-50.
Yeah, because
Like,
yeah. It's just
realistically,
played to
realistically, does it actually matter if you're home or away now? Like, yeah, you're traveling. You're not at your own stadium, but it doesn't really make much
I
of
mean,
a
Liverpool went
difference.
to Budapest and had one of the best games of the season that we've had, which is not that hard, but still.
No, but that's the thing.
Bloody
Yeah.
Budapest.
You get these little glimmers of hope in some games, like the West Ham game, the Spurs game, obviously the game against Leipzig. Like you get them little glimmers of hope where we look good, and then we just seem to just lose it the next week.
Yeah, definitely. It's frustrating because I thought do you remember back? It seems like so long now where we got a 7-1 victory against Crystal Palace.
It seems like they lost all the goals in that game there. They used them all up.
They decided to spend all the goals at once.
They cashed them in.
But to be fair, who did United play? Was it Newcastle, the most recent match?
yeah, literally like yesterday, I think.
I have to say that Rashford goal was someone else.
I didn't see the goal. Was it? What happened?
It was good. He literally got on the left hand side. The fullback came out to him. He makes him, took it to the byline, done a drop of the shoulder, went back onto his like cutting on his right foot and just shot it near post, and the keeper didn't save
But
it.
it was a fast shot, so no chance for
That's
the keeper,
nice.
even though it was near post. It was impressive.
Yeah, no, and Matt, I think United need to look. We need to sign a centre back. Lindelof is not good enough. Look, Maguire.
Yeah, transfers. Let's talk about that. Transfers,
Yeah,
definitely.
transfers. United, obviously, Upamecano was a supposed.
Oh my
target
god!
anyway,
Everyone wants him. He is such a good player.
but he's gone Bayern. He's gone.
I mean,
Bayern.
he
He's
played
gone Bayern,
crap
has he?
against.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
apparently
officially
they've
signed.
agreed.
Yeah, they've
Ah.
agreed about agreed his release clause of about 47 million, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Wow.
With add-ons. So in about June he'll head over to Bayern.
but that's the thing though. He would have been all right. United. And look, when Bailly plays with Maguire, because Bailly has pace, power, and is all right
Mhm.
on the ball. He complements Maguire a lot more than Lindelof. Lindelof will get beat, even though you don't think Lindelof's slow. He's not
a
fast.
strong player.
He's
Yeah,
not
he's not
fast. Either.
dominating.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and then,
definitely.
so that's what. So we need a strong, like powerful. But Bailly's perfect, but he's just too injury prone. So United probably need another centre back. We need a right winger. We ain't got a right winger. Greenwood is playing on the right wing, but he's not. When I say right winger, I mean like Greenwood. If you watch him, his positions like he moves centrally. We need like Sancho who hold the width, in my opinion.
Oh,
anyway.
If United
about-
buy
well, you got
Sancho, I'm gonna be
Diallo now.
devastated.
Well, no,
Yeah,
I
we
think
do have Diallo.
actually, I think it's more likely they're going to buy Sancho now because if you think about it, Sancho's stock has plummeted, hasn't it? If you
Yeah.
think about it, he just come off one of his best season for Dortmund. He's he is the Dortmund boy at that time, getting so many assists. At the start of last season, he was ahead in all the top 5 leagues with assists and goal contributions.
Yeah.
And his stock had never been higher. So that's why Dortmund were able to go, oh, we want 120 million, was it? Or things like that.
Yeah.
But
it
now,
was in this way.
global pandemic, so Dortmund need their money.
Mhm.
Sancho's no longer the golden boy. Haaland is. And I don't think they're going to want to sell Haaland at the moment.
No.
Although I swear he's got like a release clause or something.
Yeah, apparently the release
available.
clause starts next summer. Like,
So
it opens up.
it depends, because as well as Sancho hasn't been on form this season, not really. He's only just starting to score goals again. So his stock, you could get him for 60 to 80 odd million value. But as well, if Haaland was to go to somewhere like Real Madrid or Chelsea, even look at him. I swear United even
Chelsea.
looking at him.
Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea. Tuchel wants to sign Haaland.
Surely the last thing Chelsea need to do is spend more money. Like, they need to sort their players out and get their team working. They've spent loads.
I mean, I've not seen Havertz don't do anything. I don't even know where he's gone. He's just disappeared.
Werner is having a shocker.
Werner's having a shot. Look, and all these people were hyping up.
I feel
Ziyech.
bad for Werner though. I mean Ziyech might be going to bloody AC Milan. I remember Chelsea fans make me laugh because they got so happy. They're like, oh, we're gonna win the league. Look at us. Oh, look at this team.
Comparing Havertz and bloody Ziyech to Bruno. What?
Well,
I'm not a fan of Bruno
Havertz, Lampard.
Fernandes, but I will admit he is on another level to like he's like, I'd say he's not as good as De Bruyne, but he's up there with De Bruyne. Like, I'd say he's on a different level to like Havertz.
Them two are the two best in the Prem. That's in my opinion, that's a fact. They're the two best.
The thing is with Bruno Fernandes though. This is my opinion of Bruno Fernandes. I think he was a decent player. He was a good player that just went to the perfect team for his style and what suited him. He's kind of come into a team that needed something mentally, emotionally, just needed a surgeons. They needed an attacking midfielder, and the players that he has, he's got fast players like Rashford, James, Greenwood, and whatnot. So he's got people to give goals to. He's kind of got he doesn't have to defend because he's got Fred and McTominay and I guess Pogba to rely on in that sense. So he's actually just been given the perfect position for him. So I think that's kind of what added to it as well. If he went somewhere like Man City or even Chelsea and whatnot, I don't know if he would have the same impact and be rated the same way.
But the thing is, the reason why United fans love him so much, he's got like a fire in him. Like before, when it was like Ashley Young was your captain, and even now still with like Lindelof and De Gea. Even though I like De Gea, I don't think he's as good as he was before. But none of them have that fire. And I mean, even yesterday, it was nearly like he was like pushing and shoving like Hayden, or I think his name is on the Newcastle. No other player does that. He goes up to refs, he yells. Like no one in the United team has that like fire, that aggression, like as well.
I feel that's gone out of football entirely now. If you think about it, can you really name that many players that really like put in the hard tackles and want to just be kind of play rough?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I can, but like they've been in the game for a while. Like Jordan Henderson, for example, he works so hard. If a ref makes a decision he thinks is wrong, the ref knows about it. Like he goes straight over, he shouts at the ref. Like you can tell he's got passion. But the young players, they don't argue with refs because they just accept it.
Yeah. And honestly, that I think that is missing from the game. Again, same with United. You look at Martial, or Bruno will miss a shot which, it's like a long shot, and he'll be like stomping, he'll be like annoyed at himself. Martial will miss a 1-on-1, and he won't even be annoyed at himself. Do you know what I mean? Like,
when about are we gonna start calling Martial a flop? Like, come on.
I think a flop would be too, because he scored loads of goals, but this season he's been poor, and I think. I don't know.
Well, it's almost like he's got the potential, and it's like, oh, he can do it. Yeah, he's good. He can do this. He does that. He's not consistent enough to be a Man United striker.
Didn't he have like a little spell last season or something where he was actually good?
Last season he scored, I think, over 20 goals in all competitions. I think like 23.
Like I swear he was decent last season.
He was good, lad. But that's what I'm saying. As Will said, he isn't consistent enough. I love Martial. I think he's again. Potential, even though he's about to be 25, he's good, but he ain't consistent enough to be a starting number 9 for a club like United who will want to be pushing for trophies. You know.
Question then: who would you sign at striker if you had to, or would you keep Cavani?
Obviously, I'd probably say keep Cavani for one more year. I think he has one more decent year in him.
And then
And
he
then
can,
after
he can
that-
always become, back to being a kind of like a substitute striker as well.
Yeah. After that, if Haaland's release clause is there, just go for it. If you can't, see, this is what's hard. A lot of obviously Kane, but then he's probably Haaland as Kane, but you'd have to spend 100 million on him. If you want a good striker, you need to pay 100 million probably.
Yeah, but you can get other strikers as well. Like if you look at the likes of, say, Donyell Malen from PSV is looking really, really good. He's one of those players that I think your City are looking at as well for a replacement for Aguero, who actually, instead of a direct replacement to go ahead of Jesus, would actually kind of compete with Jesus for the starting spot. One of those young, cheap, so you're going to get a profit no matter what. So you're not losing 100 million. Quick, he's one of those players that would fit into that style. However, he does cover the left flank quite a bit as well. I think he would I don't know if he would suit United because Rashford likes to do that, covering the left flank, doesn't he? Cut in from the left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm confused. Where does Rashford actually play? I always thought he was a striker, but he seems to play left wing.
Nah. Since Ollie's came in, really, he's been on the left wing, like fully. Oh, my dog's going crazy.
But it's quite good for him though because it allows him to use. Admittedly, his placement and in the box and everything isn't striker. It's more he can find space on the wings and he can use his pace, which works for him, and he can cut inside. But the only problem with that though is I find he gets lost sometimes in games, doesn't he? He can just kind of you just don't see him.
You can just fizzle out.
Yeah, no, and a lot of time he this is what's been known about him this season. He's got really good goals and assists in the Premier League this season, but he will play poor. He'll try to take on a guy like 5 times, and he'll get like one successful dribble.
Like on
Do you know what I mean?
paper, he looks like a good player, but when you actually watch him play, he's not as good.
In game, he's frustrating. But if he's getting goals and assists, you can't moan.
But then
Do you know
again,
what I mean?
but then again, would you say with more experience, could he be less frustrating to watch?
But he's not a young player anymore. He's
How
not
old
really
actually
a
is
young
he?
player anymore. That's why he's like in his 22s now. At least.
I think he's 22, turned 23.
That's
like
still
this season.
that's still reasonably young. Like 26 is like prime, I'd say. 26,
Yeah, but you
27.
call it experience. He started off when he was 6. Didn't he have his debut when he was like 16, 17?
I think
2016.
it was 17 turned 18.
I suppose
Yeah,
5
so-
years, yeah.
So he's had 5 years of experience when most players, like Jones, for example, for Liverpool, has only really just broken into the main team in the first team when he's 20, 21. And most players are like that. They only start actually coming into fruition around 2021. By
Curtis
22,
Jones.
you're going to want to
Curtis
start.
Jones this season has been phenomenal. I really like Curtis Jones the way he's come into the team.
Yeah, I think he's kind of, but again, he's reliable in his passing. He's got the skill really to be a top class midfielder. But at the moment, he's not delivering in the sense of he's not getting those assists. His defending's not quite up there. He's looking good, but he's not doing much, which is my problem with him.
But do you know what I think? I mean, some people are saying this, but they're saying that when we play Thiago, it slows the whole team down and we play sloppy.
Yeah.
I
mean, that's strange though, because I remember. Do you remember back when we played at the start of the season? Thiago came on before he got injured against Chelsea and obviously Everton when he got injured, and he was like man of the match for both of those games.
he was really good.
He was just finding these passes, and they were so accurate. It was just passing, and it was brilliant. He just scanned the pitch. But now it's almost like I don't know whether there's a fear in him or whether he just doesn't want it anymore. He just
could just be a lack of
plays
confidence.
the simple pass.
Because some players definitely look like they're lacking confidence.
Yeah, maybe it is because we've been losing and everything. He's just not quite there. Perhaps once we got our Jota back, making those good runs, Van Dijk back, and all those kind of things, it'll start to pick up again.
I must admit, I am really looking forward to next season. Just thinking about our squad, as a whole is going to be amazing. Like with obviously Jota,
Let's hope.
and hopefully, our defenders are okay. It's gonna be a good season.
Are you guys not worried about? Because I just feel with Liverpool, the past 2 seasons, they've pretty much played the exact same team every game.
Oh, I mean,
no, not really. Not really. Midfield has always been changing.
Yeah, the midfield.
yeah, but that doesn't really do.
And weirdly now, your midfield is the only part of your team that hasn't had injuries because of you've rotated them, but your defense and your strikers and your front three most of the time stayed the same.
But then you could say that
we've kind of depth, really. Yeah.
Yeah, no, go on, Will. Okay, yeah.
I was saying because we're thinking about signing a Campos from like Seville. We've got Jota, and we're looking at Rafinha as well. Klopp's definitely looking at the next front three, whether it be one of them coming out for Mbappe, whatever it is. I think the expiry date on our front three is starting to end. And in my opinion, if I was Liverpool manager, I don't see why he doesn't put Firmino into an attacking midfield role and have the same sort of formation as the likes of, say, United with a 4-3-3 attacking. Have Firmino at attacking midfield. Have a good striker who's clinical,
put Jota
get
at
you
striker.
goals.
Or move Mo. Salah can play striker.
And then Jota on the right.
Nah, Jota plays on the left, doesn't he? You could move Mane at striker.
He can play on the right.
Oh.
Yeah, but to be fair, Firmino was never a goal scorer, really. He got his couple of goals, but the reason everyone rated him was because he made sure Mane and Salah could play their football, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's definitely the backbone of the front three.
So it just meant that, now, if he was in that position, he has 3 players to give it to. And if you have Henderson and, say, Fabinho, now they can drop back in defence to a back 4 with Van Dijk and Arnold and Robertson push up. So you've got 6 players up. Yeah, so it's things like that which he just needs to start experimenting now, because it's like, right, whatever we're doing is not working.
Well, I honestly think
you can't
that obviously with playing the same way for a couple of seasons, I think teams have figured us out now, and they're just like, that it's easier for them to deal with us. Before, it was perfect because teams would come at us, which allowed us to counter-attack. But now all teams have to do is come to Anfield, sit back. Like Burnley, they just sat back for most of the game, and we struggle to break down teams that just sit back, and then obviously they can counter us. So it's like,
that's why we got Thiago, wasn't it, to stop that?
Yeah, but then another thing I think as well is without Van Dijk and Gomez, Trent and Robertson aren't going forward as much, which means they're playing more defensive. And I, honest to God, I don't think they're good defensive fullbacks. I think it's been exposed. Trent's defending, in my opinion.
Robertson's been good.
Right, yeah, Robertson's been good, but in my opinion, Trent's defending is bad. I don't think it's good at all.
Yeah, I have to completely agree with that. I think Trent's a phenomenal player in terms of his passing, and I think he'd be an amazing midfielder. I was actually thinking in one of the games, I think it was against Leipzig, I was thinking, what if hypothetically we were to get like Henderson was to say retire eventually in the next 5 years, and then Arnold goes to midfield, and we get someone like Mukiele who's fast, knows how to defend, and somewhat attack on the right back. How cool would that be?
I mean, I've done that on career mode. I always put Trent as a midfielder. Yeah, it's actually good. I honestly think he has got the abilities. He's great with the ball. He can pass it really well. I just don't know about crossing it, though. Like, if he's in midfield, is he going to find himself, them wide positions that he normally does? Because do we really want that?
Yeah, that's true.
Because Trent's crossing is amazing. So we'd probably lose that a bit.
Yeah, definitely. Well, another thing is, obviously, who's your pick to win this season? I think everyone can agree on the same team here.
Brighton.
What did you say?
Brighton.
Yeah, West Brom.
Sheffield United, boys. Sheffield United all the way.
Yeah. We're going to make a title charge in the season. Title charge, lads.
Nah, for the title, I think it's going to be Man City. I don't care about us trying to win the league, and I would want it to be Leicester. That's it. I can't say anything. I think it's going to be Man City though. It's
Yeah,
boring.
City, easy. Easy.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, in terms of the
They're playing
title
for
race,
football.
I'm looking at it from an outside perspective rather than an inside perspective. I'm looking at Leicester and thinking, I hope Leicester can catch Man City. I'm not thinking I hope we can do it because I don't believe in us to catch Man City. I'm sorry, but I just don't.
No, Liverpool.
I feel, and
So
also
United.
like Leicester don't have I don't know if they have the squad depth at the moment. Like they got a really good squad, and in 2 years, their first team, excluding a replacement for Vardy and a right winger, they're definitely title chargers, 100%. But their squad, their bench, is still like almost championship level at times with like Mark Albrighton and whatnot.
I mean, this is what I'm saying. I think Man City will win it, but Leicester, who I'm backing to win it. Just
Okay, well, it links to another question then about who do you think is the player of the year? Now, if Sean, if you say the thing I think, if you say the person I think, I will have to.
by player of the
Yeah,
year,
sure.
do you just mean the
will be
season?
Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, player of the season so
All
far.
right, okay. Explain why do you think it's Bruno Fernandes?
I think
I knew he was going to say that.
his stats and his goals and assists this season as a midfielder as well are undeniable.
Attacking midfielder.
Has he been
Attacking midfielder, but
consistent?
still a midfielder.
Has he been consistent the whole season? I haven't been following him.
Yes, I think
He
I'm
has been
gonna
consistent,
get it up now just to make sure.
Because there has been,
He's
I'd
nearly
say,
involved in a goal a game, like a goal or an assist a game. Do you know what
there
I mean?
has been like good players, but they're just none of them been consistent. Like Son, for example, he was amazing, earlier on in the season, but now he's just not as good. So it's like if Son was consistent at that level the whole season, I'd say it was him. But
Well, we look at Bruno Fernandes' stats in the Premier League. We're looking at Premier League Player of the Year at the moment.
Yeah, so only in the Premier League, and I've literally
Matches,
this is on Google.
25 matches, and so it's 25 goal contributions with 15 goals and 10 assists.
So every game, let's say, he's got a goal and or an assist.
that is good. That is very good.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. I do think that's
But
crazy. And I
You look
think-
at I'm still looking at De Bruyne and stuff like that as well because De
Bruyne's
Bruyne
injured, isn't he?
is another one up there. No, he's just come back from injury,
Oh,
but he wasn't injured for long. He's had Then again, he's had 19 matches, 10 assists, 3 goals. So actually, Bruno Fernandes could actually be the player of the season, which is quite frustrating.
But-
Gundogan.
Gundogan as well. Yeah, Gundogan's been really good recently.
And a lot of people are saying about Jack Grealish as well. He's been
Uh,
brilliant this season.
I think look, he's been brilliant. I think also he's just got injured now, so that might.
He's got
hinder it,
better.
but I
He's
just
got
think
better stats.
Just
than,
just
than
coming
De Bruyne.
back to City, I honestly think Phil Foden is amazing this season. He has
should be
been
young. He should be young player of the year.
yeah. Young player of the year. I'd say Phil
In
Foden.
my
you have to be
opinion,
under
it's
23.
Bruno, player of the year, young player.
He is
of
under
Phil
23,
Foden.
isn't he?
Is he?
He's
Let's see.
really young.
He's 20. Fuck,
Yeah.
bloody hell, he's 20.
He's
an
amazing.
English talent.
Yeah.
He's like an English David Silva.
He tore us apart a couple of weeks ago. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, but that game, Allison also tore us apart.
Yeah, but I just mean throughout the whole game he plays so well.
Okay. Oh, okay. One last question then as well. Biggest flop of the season. We look very much at Chelsea.
It has to be
Havertz is a big one, yeah.
Timo Werner
Because
because
at least
of the amount
Werner's
of.
been involved. in goals.
Werner's been good. Werner's
Has
his
he?
goal contribution.
Have you seen his miss?
been getting
Have you seen his
assists.
misses? Have you seen like the state of how he's missed goals? It's terrible.
Yeah,
so
but-
many sitters.
Yeah, I understand. He's definitely disappointing, but a lot of Chelsea fans don't actually. They're not against him or anything because the fact he works so hard to make so many different runs, and yes, he misses it, but at least he gets in those positions and he gets his assists, he gets everyone moving, and when he's not in the team and Giroud's at striker and things like that, he's not in his right position either. the Chelsea team don't play as well.
I
They've
suppose
realised
this is
he
the
is an
team who
asset.
got Higuain on loan last season, so yeah, fair enough. Anything's
No,
better.
but I mean,
Sure.
look at Havertz. 18 matches, 1 goal, 2 assists in the Premier League.
That's shocking. That is really bad.
Yeah, and he was like so expensive.
But we're seeing now like players that just randomly come up, have a really
People
good
say
season.
Thiago's a flop.
He hasn't had much time. Let's be
No,
honest.
I wouldn't say he ain't been as good as expected, but
No,
he got
but-
one a free, innit? So
He's
Yeah,
He's been
it wasn't
injured.
free. It
He's
was
been
about
injured.
25 million.
for the majority of
was
the
it?
season.
Even that's cheap.
He's been out.
What about Ryan Booster? Sheffield United,
that's a good
23.5
shout.
million, and he's done absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
I
but
remember
Sheffield
Liverpool
United,
fans were
something
well hyping him up as
something
well.
isn't right in Sheffield United. It can't be because they are having a terrible. They were down weeks ago.
No, but the weird thing about Sheffield United though is no one was expecting them to have a fantastic season again because they had a rare one. They played brilliantly last season with a championship squad, whereas the likes of Villa and and Leeds at the moment and things like that, they actually do have a very good squad with some good players.
It's just second season
Whereas
syndrome. Like we've seen
Sheffield
it with loads of
United
teams.
still have a championship squad. It's the same thing as Norwich. Sheffield United should have had the exact same, should have been in the exact same situation as Norwich because they both had championship squads. In fact, Norwich, you could say, had a better squad with things like Max Aarons and Lewis and whatnot. And even if Pookie was actually on form, but
The
they got
Pookie
relegated,
party
didn't they?
last season. That was pretty cool.
Was that last season? Jesus, I swear it was the season. Was it the season before?
Honestly,
not
I've
season.
lost track of football recently. Am I the only one which is just like looks at football now in kind of a different way and kind of doesn't enjoy it as much? I just think you could say it's obviously Liverpool not having a good season, but like no fans at all. VAR. I just think it's a complete different game to what I started
signings are the
watching.
only thing that enjoys me. Yeah.
See, luckily I've been having obviously I've got United and stuff, but this season, like even though it's different, just quickly, Celtic have been terrible. I've not watched a Celtic.
True.
Yo,
Yeah.
Gerrard at Rangers as well. He's done a great job.
Liverpool manager in the next 5-10 years.
I would
To be
think
fair,
so.
I think if you went to a Premier League team and done well, and then Jurgen left, I think that's a shout.
But to be fair though, think about it. You have the likes of Solskjaer, Lampard, and all those lot. They did crap with their first teams. Lampard didn't get a promotion with Derby. Solskjaer didn't get relegated with Cardiff.
Yeah, he came in halfway through,
And-
the season, but yeah.
But yeah, got relegated with Cardiff. He did no. They've not done anything, but they've suddenly become Man United and Chelsea managers. Whereas Gerrard has gone to Rangers, has completely changed. Has gone against a team that had won the Scottish Premier League for 9 seasons in a row, has then won it definitively early. If they win the next 2 games, I think they only need 7 points.
Yeah.
They win the league. That is incredible. Thinking about it, how long has he been there?
He's been there
That
for like
is impressive.
this might be his 4th season, maybe, or 3rd or 4th. I think.
You see this now though.
Squad,
Like players players retire and stuff, and they just get put straight into being a manager with no experience. Like Lampard, yeah, he was with Derby for a bit, but like,
Yeah, but
why did Chelsea get
Didn't do
Lampard?
anything.
Did they get Lampard because
Oh,
he's a good manager, or because it's Frank Lampard, club legend?
no. See, I think with Chelsea's one, it was that because with Solskjaer, it was obviously we sacked Mourinho, so we only got him as interim.
temporary, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he then went on a crazy run.
It was
Of
like a little
games where-
honeymoon period, yeah.
Yeah, it sort of felt like he deserved it at the time. And if United got someone else, there would have been loads of United fans going mad. Do you know what I mean? But with
As well, I
Chelsea's
think
one,
if
it was
Lampard had someone like Ferguson in his ear, I think he would have done better than he did. I have to say, a lot of credit goes to Ferguson for Solskjaer still being appointed as manager. To be honest,
Well, everyone said at the start, like,
Um,
is Fergie behind it?
100% Ferguson admitted to talking to him and giving him advice and making sure any questions Solskjaer had, he was there for. So obviously he's been in the ear, but I don't know if he's been as direct though.
No, he wouldn't know. He wouldn't be telling Solskjaer like what tactics to do or nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Can you even do that? Like, is that actually fair?
No, I don't. Well, I'm
Well,
sure
no,
it's-
it is.
it's allowed
You
to
can
ask
consult
someone.
whoever you want. Yeah.
Mm.
as long as he's not literally telling you what team to pick and stuff. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure it's alright.
Even if he did, it just wouldn't be in favor. Like the board would hate it, but
Mhm.
he can still do it.
Yeah. This is.
I think the board might even like it.
I hope if we do get Gerrard as manager, we do it at the right time. Like, I understand he's got experience with Rangers, but Scottish League is so poor in quality. Like,
Yes, but he's won the Scottish League as well as still winning in the Europa League.
Yeah, see, what I think Gerrard should do is, if, like, let's say Steve Bruce gets sacked,
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
maybe like a team like Newcastle, or I don't think they will, but let's say Southampton for some reason got rid of their manager, went Southampton and done well with them. Do you know what I mean? I think maybe a decent Premier League side. If you do well with them, then maybe Liverpool can come calling. I think.
Yeah, like, I don't want him straight
Europa
away.
League. Yeah, I want to let Klopp spend out his. It's nice though for Liverpool fans to go right. Oh no, Klopp doesn't want to. He's already admitted he does not want to sign a new contract to stay longer. Great. Well, who the hell are we going to replace after that? Well, now we've got someone who, could potentially come in after the Klopp's contract expires. So that's quite an interesting one. And I mean, talking about contract expiring, Cavani has said that he's actually in discussions now to sign a new contract, isn't he? And you get the likes of Wijnaldum as well, who doesn't want to sign one.
Yeah, Wijnaldum's going, but Cavani, I didn't know he signed like a 1-year deal. I thought it was longer.
Yeah, he only signed a 1-year deal, I think. Yeah.
Well, he's an older player, so you can kind of understand that, but he's done well. So I think it'll be on the basis of you get like Buffon and everyone. He just kept signing 1-year deals over and over again, which is what you want to do for an older player. Like Sergio Ramos is trying to get a 2-year deal with Real Madrid, but that's not going to happen. And Alaba wanted like a 3-year deal at a ridiculous price. But I think
who is it? Is it Alaba or is it? I think it's Alaba that said he was going to retire or something.
No, Alaba's going to go to Real Madrid. I'm pretty sure. I think Real Madrid have kind of got comfortable with the fact Ramos is going to go, so they're going to bring in Alaba instead from Bayern once Alaba's contract expires.
It's kind of a shame to see like what's happened with Barcelona and Real Madrid, 'cause it was such a good rivalry to watch, like obviously El Clasico and stuff, and then it's kind of like all we have now is like Liverpool, Man City, and it's like it's all right, but
I mean, well, at the moment it seems like the Inter derby is crazy. The Milan derby is ridiculous.
I haven't been following it.
Milan, AC Milan.
No,
the Serie A has been like the most entertaining league.
Oh God!
And Ibra and Lukaku have a mad beef.
Do you remember when Do you remember when like Bundesliga football came back? Like it was the first football to come back after the lockdown.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
God.
Loads of people watching it.
Yeah.
It was good though because Dortmund were playing such good football at the time.
Nah,
as well.
I remember watching
So
the
enjoyable.
Dortmund Bayern game, and it was so dead. It was such a bad game.
Yeah, true. That one was bad.
I remember that. Yeah.
Do you remember this? This is gonna like it's not going back, but like, did you ever in like school, when the Euros came around 2016,
Oh,
and obviously it was during the day,
England,
and
Wales.
All you had to do was make up an ITV password.
Yeah, I did that with the World Cup at
You could
school.
watch it wherever.
I did that World Cup at school. But do you remember in the Euros, it was England versus Wales, and that was on like an afternoon, and everyone watched it at school.
Yeah, I watched it in my French
we did-
class.
Yeah, we didn't, but I remember the
You
World Cup as
didn't.
well. We literally sat there like IT and everything, and you just sat there
ITV
watching,
Hub, yeah.
watching or listening to
Because
it.
all the games are on ITV
Okay.
or BBC, so you can just go on each one and just watch whatever you want. It was sick.
Just watching like Nigeria versus Bulgaria. Right.
I remember watching some Japan game in IT. That was great.
So, talking about football news. What's your opinion on obviously the Saliba situation?
Oh my god. Honestly, it is actually disgusting. Like, it is.
I think we should keep this short and sweet. Disgusting. Do not approve.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair though, it's like it's not even the fact like he wasn't doing anything. So like he's not going to be.
No, but
he's not ruined his career. It's the fact how calm everyone was. They're just on their phones, chilling.
It makes you wonder. It makes you wonder though, if they're so calm about it. You know what I mean? It couldn't have.
What did they get up to? Yeah.
Yeah, it couldn't have been a very, like, big thing.
Yeah, that guy who was doing it must have been a
Will,
weirdo.
no.
Like, they'd done it all the time, innit?
The final word on Liverpool's season from all of us.
Shit.
Yeah, pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie.
Disappointing.
Disappointing.
Oh well, it's amazing for me, but from a neutral, disappointing.
And then United, I'd say United have done really well for themselves, and
Yeah.
it's not the case of will they get top 4. I think they definitely get top 4 this season.
Yeah, hopefully we should get a trophy, but if I had to choose one word, I'd say decent.
Yeah. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening to us talk about football for about 45 minutes. If you did enjoy, check out our social medias to stay tuned for the next one. We talk about the Champions League and upcoming fixtures. This has been me, Will, and Sean, and I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you all later.